The goal was to build an entire Commander deck for under $10. And in this deck box is $9.79 worth of total card market value. Let's dive in. Let's start with the most important part of the deck, the Commander. And my Commander is Treebeard Gracious Host. It is a 4 mana, 2 generic, 1 green, 1 white mana, 0/5 with Trample and Ward 2. Right out the gate, we got some good keywords there. Ward 2, a little harder to take care of. Trample, built in. When Treebeard Gracious Host enters the battlefield, create 2 food tokens. And the most important part, whenever you gain life, put that many 1/1 counters on target halfling or tree folk. Life gain, tremendously supported. Tons of cards from every set can help you gain life, and Treebeard directly benefits from that. So let's talk about some of the cards in the deck, and we're going to be using the sort of the command zone structure where you have ramp, card advantage, targeted disruption, mass disruption, and plan cards. Those are the cards that go into the plan of the deck. First up, we have Explorer's Scope, and this thing rocks. Not enough people are running this. I don't know why I never see Explorer's Scope. It's awesome. It's a 1 mana equipment. You can put it down on turn 1, and it's 1 equip cost. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. So every time you attack with this equipped, you have the potential to ramp by 1 land, basic or otherwise. Next, we have Search for Tomorrow, and this is great because it has 2 options. One, you can hard cast it for 3 mana, and what you do is you search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Notably, not tapped. But it also has Suspend 2 for 1 green mana, meaning turn 1, pay 1 mana, and in 2 turns, this will take effect. In 2 turns, you will just get a basic onto the battlefield, ready to use. And one of the best mana dorks ever, Poison Dart Frog. This is a 2 mana 1/1 with reach. That's important. Taps for 1 mana of any color, and you can pay 2 mana to give Poison Dart Frog Death Touch until end of turn. A lot of important points there. 1, mana of any color. We love that. 2, has reach, so it can block anything. And you can give it Death Touch, which was going to ward off people attacking you with their important creatures, their commanders, their heavy hitters. They're going to be less inclined to attack you because you can just give this Death Touch at instant speed. Moving on to card advantage. First up, we have Season of Growth. This is a 2 mana enchantment that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, scry 1, scrying is always great, and whenever you cast a spell that targets a creature you control, draw a card. Now, because this is a Voltron deck, he's very important. I'm going to be targeting my commander quite often, whether it's a protection spell or a pump spell or an aura, whatever that may be. I'm targeting my commander pretty frequently. So for 2 mana on the board, I could be getting a lot of potential draw value. Next up, we have Deepwood Denizen. Right out of the gate, 3 mana, 3/2 with Vigilance. Not a bad body, but it has a 6 mana ability, 5 generic, 1 green. Tap, draw a card. This ability costs 1 generic mana less to activate for each 1/1 counter on creatures you control. Treebeard's gonna have 5 1/1 counters on him pretty easily. So from that point on, it's 1 green mana to draw a card on every one of your turns. That's not bad. And then one of my favorite cards, Glunch the Bestower. It's a 3 mana 0/5 with flying, and it has, at the beginning of your end step, choose a player. They put 2 1/1 counters on a creature they control. Choose a second player to draw a card, then choose a third player to create 2 treasure tokens. It's wonderful. And because other people are benefiting from it, it's generally not removed very quickly. People tend to keep this one around. Moving on, we have Targeted Disruption. Olenbach Escort. This is a 1 mana 1/1 with Vigilance, and it has sacrifice Olenbach Escort. Target creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it gains lifelink and indestructible until end of turn. This is great. There's a lot of different cards in this deck that specifically give a target creature lifelink, because when you give Treebeard lifelink and he does combat damage, you double the 1/1 counters on him. But it also gives indestructible. So you can put this on the field, have your commander out, and if somebody does a board wipe, sacrifice this, Treebeard gets indestructible until end of turn. Or on your turn, Do this, lifelink, get a bunch of life, get a bunch of 1/1 counters. Your choice. Next is Dawnbringer Cleric. This guy's really fun. It is a 2-mana 1/3, and it has when Dawnbringer Cleric enters the battlefield, choose 1. Cure wounds, you gain 2 life. Dispel magic, destroy target enchantment, targeted removal. Or Gentle Repose, exile target card from a graveyard. Graveyard removal is really important because people be doing graveyard shenanigans. And one of the best targeted disruptions in this deck, without a doubt, Sheltering Word. This is a 2-mana instant that says target creature you control gains hexproof until end of turn. You gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So let's say Treebeard's out. He has 10 1/1 counters on him. Oh no! I just gained 15 life. He has 15 more 1/1 counters on him. That's value, baby. You can use it to protect Treebeard, and you can use it to pump Treebeard up. Next up, we got Mass Disruption, and I've been doing 3 cards for each of these so far. There are actually only 3 Mass Disruption cards in this entire deck. First up, we got Unbreakable Formation. This is just a mass protection spell. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn, and if you cast it on your main phase, you put a 1/1 counter on each of your creatures. 3 mana, make everything indestructible until end of turn. It's pretty straightforward. These next 2 are where it gets interesting. We have Fog of War. 3-mana spell, instant. You gain 1 life for each creature on the battlefield. Then you can prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures with power 3 or less. If somebody's going wide with a bunch of 2/2s, that might help you. But the first part is important, because if there's a total of 20 creatures, which is not unlikely, you gain 20 life instantly. And that means 20 1/1 counters on Treebeard. And then similarly, we have Chant of Vitu-Ghazi. This is an 8-mana spell with Convoke. You can tap creatures to help pay the cost. Prevent all damage that would be dealt by creatures this turn. You gain life equal to the damage prevented this way. Now, Treebeard is a problem. You're going to be gaining life, and people are going to be attacking you. And let's say you got the Gruul player. They got a bunch of 10/10s out. They're like, hey, James, stop gaining so much life. I'm going to send 5 10/10s at you. Uh-oh, whoops. Oh, I gained 50 life. And I put 50 1/1 counters on Treebeard. It's hard to get this one off, but when you do, it's crazy. Moving on to the plan cards, and this time I picked 5 cards because they all kind of serve slightly different functions. First up, we have Knight of Dawn's Light, and there's also Heron of Hope, which does a similar thing to this, but this one is a 2-mana 2/2 with First Strike. Right out the gate, great stats. But you also get, if you would gain life, you gain that much life plus 1 instead. So for the small life gain, it's not quite a doubler, but in some instances, it is a doubler. Feed the Clan. This is a 2-mana instant that just says you gain 5 life. But it also has Ferocious. You gain 10 life instead if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. Hello, this is going to be power 4 or greater. Let's say Treebeard has 15 counters on him. Swing with him. Someone's like, ooh, I've already taken some commander damage from him. I gotta block some of this. I gotta block some of this trample damage. Alright, they assign just enough blockers. Oops, I gained 10 more life. There's 10 more damage. Bada bing, bada boom. That player's dead. Spirit Link. This is a 1-mana aura that says whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. Notably, this is not lifelink. It is a different effect. It's the same effect, but it's not. So if I enchant Treebeard, we're going to go back to that 15 counters number, right? So let's say Treebeard has Spirit Link, and then I give Treebeard Lifelink. He has 15 counters, I swing for 15. I deal 15 damage. I gain 30 life, and I put 30 1/1 counters on Treebeard. Next up, we've got Griffin Airy. This one is a recent add. It is a 2-mana enchantment that says at the beginning of your end step, if you gain 3 or more life this turn, create a 2/2 white Griffin creature token with flying. So if this stays on the board for 2 turns, that's value. And let me tell you, people are going to be attacking you. You're gaining life, your commander's getting big, people are going to want you dead, so you need some blockers. And then we have Light of Promise. This is the most expensive card in the deck at about 36 cents, I believe. Enchanted creature has whenever you gain life, put that many 1/1 counters on this creature. It's the alt commander in this deck. Okay? Treebeard, let's say he's been killed 3 times. Oh no, he costs 10 mana to cast now? Okay, that might not be happening, but I got a Healer's Hawk. Let's put 40 1/1 counters on that bird. It's not commander damage, but it's a lot of damage. I keep trying to take this out of the deck because it's the most expensive card, and I'd like to keep the price down, but I just can't. It truly is the alternate option to my commander. And then we have two honorary mentions that didn't really fit into any of the specific categories. First, we have Twin Blade Blessing. This is great because it has flash. It is a 3-mana aura that says enchanted creature has double strike. Swing at a player. They're like, ooh, I can't take that much commander damage. I'll assign this many blockers. Uh-oh, suddenly he has double strike. Oops, that player's dead. This is a player kill spell right here. And if Treebeard happens to have lifelink when this goes off, you're going to gain life. Let's say it's the 15 number. He has 15 counters. Ooh, first strike damage, you're going to gain 15 life. You're going to put 15 1/1 counters on Treebeard. Then second strike happens, and it's 30. You gain 30 life and put 30 more 1/1 counters on Treebeard. And finally, we have Dormant Grove. This is a 4-mana enchantment that has, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Then, if that creature has toughness 6 or greater, transform Dormant Grove. Treebeard's a 0/5. It will transform into Gnarled Grove Strider. It's a 3/6 creature with vigilance, but it gives other creatures you control vigilance right off the bat. All of your creatures have vigilance. Obviously, there are a bunch of other cards in here. I'm not going to go over every single one of them, but I will provide the deck list in the video description. It'll be a link to Moxfield where you can see all the cards, you can see what they cost, and you can even play test it, duplicate it into your own collection, add your own cards, do whatever you want with it. All of that will be in the video description. Now we're going to shuffle up and we're going to try this out. Let's see how this deck runs just on its own. Let's deal the first hand and see what we get. Ooh, we have a Glunch. We have a Take Up the Shield. This is actually pretty solid. We have 4 lands technically, but we're going to basic land cycle this Ash Barrens. Draw for turn. Another land. We're going to immediately basic land cycle the Ash Barrens. We'll do a forest, tap this, and basic land cycle the Ash Barrens for a Plains. Okay, Plains. That will go into the hand, and then we'll go to our next turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Ooh, Pristine Talisman. It's a mana rock that when you tap it for colorless mana, you gain 1 life. We're going to do a Plains for turn, and then we'll do 1 and a white to play Knight of Dawn's Light, who I talked about earlier. Pass turn. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, we have 2 of our tap lands that gain 1 life, but we want to get this Pristine Talisman out, so we're going to play Plains, and we'll tap all 3 for the Pristine Talisman. I have nothing else I can do, so I would just pass turn there. And hey, someone's end step, tap that, gain 2 life. Why not? We can do that. Untap, upkeep, and draw. Okay, another forest. So we have 5 mana. We do have a protection spell, but we wouldn't be able to cast it to protect our commander because we would only have 1 mana left. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do, we'll just do a basic forest for turn. Okay, so listen. I played 2 lands. You know what? I actually had enough mana to do everything this turn that I did regardless. So it doesn't even really impact the test at all. And then we'll do 1, 2, 3, gain 2 life because he's out. And I'll cast Glunch the Bestower. I think the card draw is still more important right now. So I would go to my end step. I would let myself draw the card and give somebody else the mana and somebody else the counters. Another land. I'm actually kind of glad I did that. All right, we would go to our untap. Yeah, untap phase, upkeep, and draw. Ooh, Olenbach Escort. Oh, ooh, we got a good hit here. Okay, so first we are going to cast Treebeard. This, yes, this is the order. We got to keep that white mana open for the Olenbach Escort. Okay, we're gonna cast Treebeard Gracious Host. All right, we will play a land for turn, and we waited so we could play Greypelt Refuge. When it enters, gain 1 life, wait, gain 2 life, put 2 1/1 counters. I forgot to make my food tokens. I do make 2 food tokens when he enters. We're going to tap the 1 white to put out the Olenbach Escort. And now I can sacrifice this at any time to give Treebeard, who already has 1/1 counters on him, indestructible and lifelink until end of turn. And then with that, I would go to my end step, Glunch trigger, give myself the card draw. Ooh, Abzan Beastmaster, that's pretty good. That's more card draw. Okay, and then I would pass turn. And then on somebody else's end step, I would tap this, gain 2 life, put 2 1/1 counters on Treebeard. And you see the engine is going. All right, we're gonna untap. We're going to upkeep, and we're going to draw. Another land. All right, we'll do another Blossoming Sands for turn. When it enters, I will gain 2 life, put 2 1/1 counters on Treebeard. 1, 2, 3. When I tap that, I'll gain 2 life, put 2 more 1/1 counters. To cast the Abzan Beastmaster, that says at the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if you control the creature with the greatest toughness or tied. Right now, Treebeard's toughness is 13. That is a 13 toughness creature. It might be hard to contest with that, but I do still have 4 open mana, 2 food tokens, and to take up the shield that can give something lifelink and +1/+1. Okay. We're going to go to combat. We will swing Treebeard at somebody. They will presumably block. We'll pay 1 and a white for take up the shield. We'll put a 1/1 counter on Treebeard, and they're going to get lifelink indestructible until end of turn. That means they're going to deal 8 damage. We're going to gain 8 life +1, 9 life, and that is going to be 9 more 1/1 counters on Treebeard. We're at 18 1/1 counters. Not bad. And that is how my $10 Treebeard Gracious Host deck runs. I would say it is a very comfortable bracket too. It has and continues to run very well against precons. I have a lot of friends who run precons, and this can either hang with them or beat them. And I think that's a great place to be with a deck. I've tried running it against bracket 3s, and it lost. But it didn't lose horribly. But it really does live in the bracket 2 realm. You want a $10 deck? You're going to be running with precons. And that's fine. A lot of people run precons or precon level decks. I spent nothing. I literally got all of these cards either from my bulk or a few cards from a friend's bulk that I traded for. I spent $5 on sleeves and $3 on a deck box, and I was ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments section what other budget, super budget commander decks you're going to want to see. Will I be able to do another $10 deck? I don't know. I might be locked around $20. $20 I think is a more reasonable number to go for with a commander deck. But I have proven that $10 can be done. Stick around. There might be more content like this going forward. More deck brewing, maybe some actual like commander games with people. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you want to see. If you got to this point in the video, I don't need you to like or subscribe. You watched the whole damn thing. Look at you go. Hey, thank you. Like many of the cards in this deck, you rock. All right. Bye.